All right. So hello everyone. Welcome to Connecting with Lynda Dyer. This is episode number 12, and I'm happy to be interviewing Lynda Dyer, one of the greatest book writers. Published a lot of books, around 11 books, and yeah, I'm very happy to join with her. And for those who haven't met me before, my name is Sam Lee. I'm the founder of Connect with Confidence. And yeah, I hope to have a good time with Lynda. So how are you today, Lynda?
Yes, great, thank you.
That's great. How was your weekend?
Very busy. I was training people in Master Practitioner of Neuro-Linguistic Programming,
Oh,
and they graduated. So it was a
wow.
busy and exciting time.
Wow. Congratulations to your clients.
Thank you.
Yeah. Did you do anything else outside of work?
Well, no, other than going out and socializing
Yeah.
and then celebrating with a lunch for the graduation. Yes, you've got to do all of that. It's very important to celebrate your wins.
Interesting. Yeah, yeah. It's just really need to build that relationship with the customers. So clients first. That's great. Yeah. So Lynda, so you got referred by Viola. So how did you know her?
Viola and I have known each other for a long time in a natural health company.
Yep.
And through that company, they did a lot of training on not only personal development, but health and well-being.
Yep.
And so we've known each other for a very long time. And then when I started to write books, Viola reconnected with me and asked me would I help assist her to train some of her team members in their mindset. And so that's what I've been doing. And so we reconnected in that way.
Oh, sounds great. Sounds great. I guess Viola is a good connector.
Yes, very, very, very good. Puts people together.
Yeah, actually, that's really good. That's something I admire as well. That's how I can talk to you.
Yes.
Really good. Yeah, so Viola, Lynda, can you tell me a bit about yourself, like your background, what you like doing outside of work, like your hobbies, when you socialize, etc.?
Well, my background is that I grew up on a farm and I got very sick, and then I I've always been interested in the body. I put myself through university. I did 2 degrees in the United States on recreation, leisure, health and fitness, and came back to Australia. There was only 3 of us with degrees. In doing that, I also hitchhiked across the Canadian Rockies at -35. I also dressed up as a man and went to England to find my dad's family. So I did a 6-month safari through Africa on the way home. So yeah, I've done a lot, and I've always just wanted to do something and gone and done it. And then I decided to study the body. I became a trainer in the fitness industry. Then I became a trainer in the nutrition, and then a trainer in the power of the mind. And so I feel like I've done the holistic stream and become a trainer in each area, so that when I coach and or train people, I can train them holistically from 3 different perspectives.
Ah, interesting. And what made you like enjoy doing this? Is this your passion or?
Absolutely. Since I was a child, I've just been fascinated in how the body does what it does. You know, how do we digest food? How do we, I was always, I guess, hyperactive, if anything, always doing something. And, you know, how do we operate? How do our muscles contract? How do we digest food? I've always been intrigued by that. And so, and always intrigued in Africa and traveling. So when the opportunity came to travel overseas to do my degrees,
Yep.
I jumped at it because I was doing a diploma here in Australia in recreation and health and fitness.
Yep.
And the chap that was one of my professors,
Yep.
he came out here from Canada to help set up the Olympic Games here in Australia.
Oh.
And he loved one of my assignments, and he said, you've got to take this further. So at that time I was working with 108 kids at the Far West home at Manly.
Wow.
I met the Queen, it became the Royal Far West, and that was back in the 70s. And I decided to work 4 jobs for 4 years and pay my tuition in America, and went overseas and did my degrees, and then did all that wonderful stuff in between. Met some beautiful people, still in contact with those people, and go over and surprise them for weddings and all sorts of stuff. So it's wonderful. I have families in the world.
I guess that gives you an excuse to travel the world to just.
Oh yes, I've been around the world a few times with my career because I've become a global speaker because of my knowledge in health and fitness and curing myself of lupus, a disease of the immune system. I came back from Africa extremely ill, and again studied the body, found out how I got sick, and decided I'd get well. And 14 years later, I'm very well.
Mm.
And then I wrote about it in a book, or 2 or 3 or 12.
Wow. That's pretty, what a resume you had. Wow. And yeah, I admire that you travel the world for your career, and that's something I want to do as well. Which is speak globally, do workshops globally, and yeah, basically teach in that way. I guess it's fun. You get to play, you get to work, you get to have a good time.
Yeah, I think it's really important that we understand that it's just geography. You know, it's for me, people say, oh, it's such a long way to go to America. And I say, no, it's 2 movies and a sleep.
2 movies, that's true.
And at the end of the day, that's all it is. And then I'm over there. So then I can do. And I think if you feel at home in your body, then you're going to feel at home anywhere you go. So it's really exciting to go to these new countries and feel really comfortable there.
Totally, yeah. So you mentioned, so I guess one of your hobbies is traveling, I guess.
Oh, absolutely. I love to travel, love to meet people. I love water, so I do a lot of water fitness. I used to teach water fitness for about 14 years, and now I keep doing it. I walk 6 times a day to keep myself healthy and to keep my dog on track and to give me a break from the computer. So it keeps me fit and off. I can't say it keeps me fit and off the streets. It actually keeps me on the streets.
That's cool.
So yeah, I love life. I love socializing. I love lunches. So I don't drink. I just like good food, look good company, and love to connect with people. So
that's great. I guess that's how you can, if you like socializing, then
absolutely
with a bigger network. So, so yeah, so traveling. Anything else? Like what you like walking, and what else do you like doing?
And the water fitness. I love the water fitness. Working out in the water, like aqua fitness in the water, aerobics in the water. I used to teach it myself, and then now I continue to do the program. So keep myself in shape, and and love the camaraderie of the people. I don't read as often as I used to. I guess I've been really busy, to be honest with you, between writing 12 books and coaching and training. Since COVID started and mental health became even more of an issue, I've been busier than ever. So I'm just blessed that I have the skills to be able to help so many people.
Sounds great. That's what it's all about. Like if you're not knowledgeable in your area of expertise, it's very hard to build a career out of it. And I guess you're one of the person that can, I guess, work the work and convince people that you're a good person. So Lynda. So what made you become like an NLP practitioner? Like is that your main job on what you coach?
Yes, NLP really governs everything I do. So it governs the books I write. In the 12 books that I've written, I learned the reason why I've been able to write so many is because it dawned on me that the way people learn, there is a learning style. If I put that learning style into my books, then it means that my books are attracted to everybody because everybody has a particular learning style. So the why do I do this? What is it for the research people? How can I demonstrate to you that it will work? And what if? So 3 chapters of every book have information on the power of the mind, because it's not just about nutrition, it's not just about exercise, it's the nutrition, the exercise, and the power of the mind that allows us to age gracefully, to keep well, etc. And also, I wrote a book called Create Confident Kids, and that was for teachers and parents and grandparents and anyone that has anything to do with children.
Wow, that's interesting. And yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I was curious about doing NLP because I guess it's one of the personal development knowledge that you need to have in terms of an entrepreneur.
So once I'd gone through the nutrition and the fitness, then when I went over into the nutrition area, there was a personal development program. And this chap kept saying to me, I want you to come and do this course. I want you to come and do this course. It's on personal development. And I said, oh my gosh, why do I need that? I'm the most positive person I know. He said, oh, you got to come and do it. You got to come and do it. And it was for him. It wasn't for me. It was for him. He needed company. That's all. So I went to the course and it was on the Bob Proctor programs.
Yeah.
And I loved it. It was like, oh my gosh, it just resonated with me.
Yeah.
And so I started to really work with that material. And then I met in this natural health company, they had this personal development program, and I happened to meet Bob Proctor. Wow. He came to one of our conventions, and the universe basically gave me a message saying, you better go out there now. There's 2,000 people at this convention, and Bob Proctor's outside. If you want to meet him, go now, 10 minutes before. And I did, and I met him, and I said, you know what, I'm just grateful for your information. I've taken it into the prisons. I've taken it into TAFE and university. I've helped people change the way they think because of your material, and I just wanted to thank you for your material. And he said, oh, do you have a card? I said, sure, not thinking anything would come of it. And that was in the March. By July, he asked me if I would like to become one of his facilitators. So I was in the first program that he taught in Australia. And I did his program. I became the #1 facilitator in the Asia Pacific region. And then I'm always looking for what's the next thing, what's the next thing, what's the next thing. So I was asking people, you know, what do you do next? You know, I was getting big audiences in Bob Proctor and what have you, but there was something missing. And so someone said NLP. So I then started to ask around. I met a lady called Pip McKay, who has created the Matrix Therapies. Oh. And I became her facilitator I studied her material, became her facilitator, became her first registered trainer, and decided I really wanted to teach her material. And then I took her material. I was the first person to take her material internationally. Wow. So, and then I've been working with her material now so I have a combination. When I teach, I'm teaching through Bob Proctor, Pip McKay, you know, Virginia Satir, Milton Erickson, all the people that have trained me. I'm now giving people bits of that, as well as giving examples around health and nutrition. Wow.
I guess it's all based, like your area of expertise is all in the wellness industry, right? Health and wellness industry.
Health, wellness, yes. And now I'm a master trainer in NLP and health and wellness. So I'm happy to be able to, it's time to share. So that's why the books, 1 book a year kept coming out, and also the urge to continue training. And we're going to be starting a lot of online training soon.
That's exciting for you, I guess. If I was in your position, I'll be, wow, I'm winning. Really good. So cool, that's great. So yeah, you mentioned you authored 11 books. You told me in your bio that you were one of the contributors to The Secret. Can you tell me more about that? Because I did read about The Secret. It's really all about law of attraction, right?
Absolutely. So whatever you're emanating out as an energy is going to come back to you. So if you're emanating out, if the energy that's coming out of you says you can't do it, then you'll get more of why you can't do it. We need to think about what we're putting out. It's not about, I want more love and then I'll give love out. It's the other way. So if we want more love from our relationship, or we want more love from ourselves, or we want more love from others, we need to start loving others, loving our partner, loving ourselves. And then when we start to do that, the universe wants that to happen.
Yeah.
The universe wants you to be the best version of who you are. And so by doing that, it then says, oh my gosh, he's got it. And we'll send you more and more and more of what you can do and can be. And so that you actually, you know, become that perfect person that the universe put on the planet anyway. Yeah. And because we're starting to get out of our own road now, because we get it.
Yeah, I was looking at that when I was in direct selling company. I was looking through all of that, like in terms of the secret. Are you part of the video, or are you a part of the book?
No, I was one of 55 people filmed for The Secret, and Rhonda Byrne actually flew me down to Melbourne and interviewed me for 5 hours.
Wow.
And she was going to bring out 6 secrets, and I was going to be in the health one.
Oh, wow.
So, as I say, I'm one of 55 people or 58 people that were filmed for The Secret. Yeah. And so whether that eventually comes out or not, I'm not sure. However, it was just a really interesting experience because it was phenomenal to be recognized. And it was because I cured myself of a major disease that people, you know, really weren't doing. They were giving in to the disease, if you will, whereas I was going, I need to learn how I got this and then learn how to get better.
Wow, that's very cool. Wow, that's such a exciting thing to be part of, and I guess it's really building your credibility upwards, and it's really cool. I like that.
Yes, it's phenomenal because it allowed me to start trusting the messages. It allowed me to start trusting my subconscious mind, which is 96% of us. It grows our hair, it grows our fingernails, it looks after our skin, it puts the blood around our body. Why aren't we paying attention to it? You know, that's where the energy comes from. And it's 96% of us. So once I really got that, that the universe wants you to be your perfect self, and it's us that gets in the road. So once I got out of my own road and started actually liking who I was, because the universe wouldn't have put you on the planet if you weren't already perfect. It had a plan for you, and it's about resonating with that plan. And of course, I reckon my plan's teaching, because that's what I've done all my life, is teach something: soccer, tennis, swimming, what you name it. Now, you know, sports, physical education, the power of the mind, health, and I teach through my book. So if my job is to teach, then I better become the best version of that teacher. So it's like your finger, keeping your finger on the pulse. What more can I give my clients? What more can I bring to that class? When I taught at university in TAFE and all sorts of places, it's what more can I do?
That's cool. Wow. So do you remember all the titles of your books, the 11 books?
Yes, I've written books like Good Grief. Good Grief was the first one. And it was because I actually went through 6 deaths in 6 months, and I didn't know how to cope. And one of those deaths was my dog, which was like my daughter, and my mum, my partner, my business partner, a doctor that was, we were going to set up a wellness centre. He was sadly killed walking across the road. And so we couldn't do that. And everything was happening. And I thought, wow, how do we get through this? How do people get through so much grief? And so one day I was hitting a ball against a wall, and I got this very clear message from the universe saying, your dog is with your mum. And I went, oh my gosh, and you need to get on with it, basically. So I ran all the way home laughing and crying, and I sat down by the computer, and this message that came from my dog was, you know, we need to get on with it. So what is it you want to do? The rest will happen. And so it was Good Grief. Pay attention to what that person or pet was, what was the message they had in your life, rather than the gap they leave behind. And so the message from my dog was, you can do this. And so all through the book, it was a story of this little dog that became, I mean, she went to TAFE with me. You know, she came to the prisons. I mean, she was amazing. She went to all the sports camps. And then I went on and started writing chapters in other people's books. And then I was asked to write my story, which unbelievable. I was exhausted writing it. So I was wondering how the hell I lived it.
I guess it's all about a learning process, I guess.
Absolutely. And every chapter people are going to learn. And every chapter is about how you set a goal and you achieve it, whether it's to dress up as a man and go to England and find your dad's family, and whether it's to hitchhike across the Canadian Rockies to finish your degrees because you're not going to let one fieldwork placement stop you, whether it's to go through Africa on a 6-month safari, whatever it is, you know, those things, you can do all of it, whatever it is. And so now I sponsor villages in Africa, look after people in Vietnam. You know, I've become a philanthropist in those areas. And in China, I went over and assisted the earthquake victims in 2008, and I wrote about that and how the universe just led me the whole way. And how do you do that when you don't speak a word of Chinese? You know, so you just do it because you've got this gut feeling that's telling you can.
Yeah.
And I just followed the gut feeling. I attracted people that wanted to help me, and I went up into the earthquake zone and started to help 10 million people who were displaced by an earthquake. And that book, the Good Grief book, I had it translated into Chinese and handed it out to all the kids and the schools and to help them get through this catastrophic event.
Wow.
So I've been truly blessed in opportunities.
Yeah, that's very good. Especially when you say it's very convincing in what you do. So yeah, how long did it actually take you to write the first book? Because I know, like, I offered 2 books. The first book I wrote wasn't easy. Like wow. How long did that take you to write?
The Good Grief book just took me 3 hours because I literally sat down and wrote and cried and laughed all the way through it. And then somebody said, you've got to turn that into a book. How long did it take? Well, between graphic designers and printers and everything else, probably months. The second book, most of my books, I've done Ages and Attitude, Creating Confident Kids. They're quicker now because the universe sends me a very clear message of how I should write it.
Yeah.
And I just go ahead and write it. Like the Lupus one, how to get through lupus, it was why do we get sick? What exactly is an autoimmune disease? How can we get better? And what if we were to change our mindset? So once I got those every 3 chapter organized, then it's quite easy. But really it takes me about a year. I ask the publisher, what's the best date you can give me for this book to go to market? And she gives me a date and I work backwards, which is what NLP does. So I work backwards and I go, okay, what day does it need to go to the editor? So if it's got this many chapters, how many times, how long is a chapter? Yeah. And then how long do I write? And I just, you know what? It's about laser focus.
Fair enough. Yeah, very true. So do you self-publish or you go to a publisher for your book?
I started self-publishing and now I have 2 publishers, one in Australia and one in America that sends it out globally.
Oh,
and I go to the book awards in Mexico, which is a hard thing to do, but someone's got to do it. And I meet other authors. It's just phenomenal. Her name's Vicky Winterton, and the publisher here, I attracted only about 2 years ago, and he's been a great help because things have changed through Amazon about what we can and can't do. And so, you know, Omni Publishing here in Sydney has allowed me, Andrew Akratos, he's allowed me to, and he talks with Vicky in America. So between the 2 of them, I publish both here and around the world.
Oh, yeah. Wow. So you go for Andrew as well. Yeah. And I actually heard a lot of great things about him. Yeah. Actually spoke to him before in person.
Yes. Wonderful.
Yeah. Actually good. So yeah. So that's pretty good about your background. So, Lynda, so the second last question I want to ask you is, how do you build positive relationships with people, your business counterparts, your clients? What's the secret behind into building positive relationships?
The secret is about loving the relationship with yourself. That's the secret. We get to a point where it's really important for us to love who we are. And when we love who we are, we can meet anybody.
Mm.
And meet them with an integrity and an honesty and an interest that is far beyond what we used to have, because we were caught up with our own stuff before. Now we're not. We just can't wait to go and meet somebody because we're really interested in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not about, I could be scared, or what are they going to say? How am I going to answer it? None of that bothers me anymore. I just am really excited to meet people. They offer so much in this world, and how can I assist them if I need to assist them? Otherwise, just to have that relationship.
Wow, that's very good. So long story short, just love people. Like I think, love yourself, love people.
Yeah, love people, but also love yourself. Understand how you operate. And when you understand how you operate, you'll understand the world a lot better, because people have 4 different representational systems. They could be visual, they could be kinesthetic, they could be AD, factual, they could be auditory, they need to hear you. And when you understand that, and then their learning styles, then you'll pick it up very quickly how they operate, and you'll be able to communicate in their language of the world. And you'll have a great relationship because you get it.
Totally. Yeah, I guess I've actually, I researched a bit about NLP, and what you said about the 4 factors is really true. I guess sometime I'll need to go for NLP for you.
Well, that'd be great. I am inundated. I've just finished 13 weeks of training with 1 week off, and I'm having next weekend off. Nobody's stopping that. I've decided this body needs a well-earned, and the weather's going to be amazing, so I'll probably go to an island somewhere, up on a ferry and travel, and then I'm going to start again because I've had so much interest in, because you know what, we need people who are trained up now in mental health, big time. And a lot of my clients are getting some amazing work. The New South Wales Health are putting out jobs for a year to say, come and help in mental health. Some of my ladies who are both nurses and trained in NLP are getting work through hospitals. 2 of my recent people have just done the Lifeline course after they did all my training, and now they're open to all sorts of different positions. So, this country, this world needs some people who have really got their act into gear, have sorted their own stuff out, and are willing to share and help others. And so it's an amazing time to come and get trained up and study you. It also helps you make those changes you want to make, and that's a lot of people have had to make change in this COVID period. And do they know how to? Maybe not, so they're coming to me to say, can you help me get through this change? And I just love that. I love holding someone by the hand and saying, hey, what you think is the Grand Canyon, I think is a little creek. Let's do it together.
Yeah, that's true. Wow, it's very cool. Yeah, I guess mental health is such a big topic now, especially like you got the online world, you got the offline world. It's just really overwhelming for people. And that's one of the things that I do as well. I help people to decrease the anxiety, to really get out of depression, really, because I've been through all of it. And it's really from a social point of view, it's really about how to get away from that kind of that stigma into mental health. And I guess
absolutely. Let me just give you a tip, Sam, that anxiety is the inability to see something successful in the future. That's all anxiety is. So if you think about that, we can take someone, their subconscious mind knows no difference between what is real and what is imagined. It's symbolic and it needs a picture. So we give it a picture of now in anxiety. We walk a couple of paces and pretend that we're in the future. And we ask our subconscious mind, what does that look like successful? When I'm not anxious, what does that look like successful? They see a picture, they create this picture when they're not anxious, and they get a really clear picture of what they want. And then they ask themselves, what can I do and what can I learn to make that happen? And they come back and I say, how's the anxiety? And it's gone.
Interesting.
Because now they've already seen it successfully. All they need to do now is work towards it.
Wow, that's very powerful.
It is very powerful, and it works.
That's what it is. That's very good. Yeah. So yeah, Lynda, it's actually pretty good to talk to you. I wish I can talk to you further. So the last question is, how do you find more about you? What's your websites? Are you active on social media so I can give the viewers on how you can?
Sure. I've got 3 different social media. So Facebook, just look under Facebook, Lynda Dyer.
Yeah.
There's Lynda Dyer Mind Power Global and Lynda Dyer 3.
Yeah.
You can, one's a bit of fun. I have a bit of fun with people, and you'll see people graduate, and I'll have a bit of fun with where I'm traveling and give you pictures of what's happening in the country, etc. I do a lot of training in the country. Yeah. I've also got mindpowerglobal.com.au, and you'll see all my 12 books on there and all the different courses that I run, and also the fact that I was on the happiness. I did a happiness talk on X. So you can go onto my website and you can actually watch a heap of stuff. I was on a TV show called Living Consciously TV. All those shows are on there. And of course, YouTube. I just did 6 YouTube free videos on different topics that people asked me to do, and they're all on my YouTube as well. And I'm also on LinkedIn. Yeah. So yeah, come and talk to me.
That's great. Well, viewers, you know how to get to Lynda Dyer and connect with her. Feel free to connect with her. She's very knowledgeable and what she does, and like after what you heard from her, her resume is very, very fascinating. So yeah, Lynda, it's nice to have you on this program. I learned a lot from you. I learned a lot about knowledge, all that creative and very important knowledge that you should have. So yeah, very happy to have you on the program, Lynda. I hope you have a good week to come, and then yeah, I hope to talk to you soon.
Thank you very much, Sam. I appreciate the opportunity.
No worries. No worries. Have a good one then.
Bye bye now.
Bye.